Caitlin Clark fans furious. WNBPA credits Alyssa A'ja Wilson for drawing 3 million viewers. Caitlin Clark fans cried foul after the WNBPA Players Association made a social media post amid CBA negotiations by seemingly crediting A'ja Wilson and Alyssa over the Fever superstar for viewership. It has been one of their key leverage points in an attempt to increase their salary. The WNBPA highlighted Alyssa and A'ja Wilson, suggesting they drew 3 million viewers flocked to see them last season. The two MVP candidates lock horns in the finals, raking over 1.5 million viewers per game on ESPN in their 4-game series, making it the second most-watched championship round, trailing only the 2024 finals. Swipe to the second slide below to see the post highlighting Thomas and Wilson's mention. However, the Caitlin Clark-led Indiana Fever drew the 4 highest-viewed games of the season. The season's most-watched game was Indiana's opening day clash against the Chicago Sky, as 2.7 million viewers tuned in. Even when Clark was on the bench, the Fever remained the biggest draw on TV due to her. Given these factors and the widely known Caitlin Clark effect, Fever fans were upset as the WNBPA credited Alyssa and A'ja Wilson for impacting the viewership. Here are a few reactions. Delusional. There has never been 3 million viewers watching AT in the history of the league, one fan wrote. It's the WNBPA. They issue a Fever calendar without CC and included players that weren't even playing for Fever this season. The hater, another added. Careful, or gonna upset all 3-8 fans, one fan joked. It's crazy how they keep sabotaging themselves, another said. Alyssa, this is delusion in its truest and purest form, one fan added. Caitlin Clark's thoughts on CBA negotiations. Caitlin Clark isn't among the WNBPA's leadership group, but the two-time WNBA All-Star is deemed influential due to the massive rise in the league's viewership upon her arrival. The WNBA has consistently attracted millions of viewers, giving a lifeline to the WNBPA amid CBA negotiations, as it has contributed to the revenue generated by the players. In December, during the Team USA camp, Clark shared her thoughts about the CBA negotiations via ESPN. That's what our fans crave, the product on the floor, Clark said after the first day of USA basketball training camp at Duke University. That's what the fans want to show up for. So it's business, and it's a negotiation, and there has to be compromise on both sides. And we're starting to get down to the wire of it. The WNBA and WNBPA agreed to extend the deadline to January 9. However, after failing to conclude again, both sides agreed to a moratorium on league business. They have entered a status quo period, in which the working conditions of the previous CBA are retained. The WNBA and WNBPA remain far apart on negotiations, mainly on the structure of the revenue-sharing system.